I'm sippin', 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 I'm sippin'.
Sippin', I'm 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 sippin'.
You can start recording too. Everybody good?
Yes, sir.
Well, this is Sippin' with Sammie. I am Sippin' with Sammie, Sam Malone, Barstool, Rug. If you ain't sippin' with Sammie, you ain't sippin' right. Get your fucking life together. And I got Saf.
Hey, yo, I'm in the building.
Definitely back in the building. Good to have you. Good to have you. And you brought your folk with you.
I definitely did. Definitely got my main man, Pots and Pans. Marty Mar, introduce yourself.
Yo, shops, Marty Mar, and Wash.
And Wash, I like that.
Glad to be here, man. It's like a dream come true. I couldn't believe it. It was like one day you was thinking about it, then the next day you doing it.
Listen,
Glad to have you, man. You've been in conversation for a while, though.
Well, oh, that's beautiful to hear.
Yeah.
Beautiful,
absolutely. I'm definitely happy to have you here. Like you said, one day we was thinking about it. We talked about this and so many other things, and I'm happy to have you sitting next to me.
Yo, tell me about it.
And one thing for sure, two things for certain, like, this is our platform, but a lot of the guests is people that derive from my network. So I always like when we able to bring some of the people from Southside on here and get some of that love too, because it just opens it all up for everybody.
Okay, help me out. What's Southside?
South.
I love it.
Yo, Southside.
He just swung that door.
Yo.
Might gotta think about that.
That's the move.
Yeah. We might gotta get you something.
Move.
See, I like how he think.
Southside.
But no, let's get into what it is that you do creatively.
Yo, what I do creatively, among other things, particularly,
A little closer to your mic.
yes, sir. Specifically, as it relates to our conversation today,
Talk to us.
is my animated short film
Nice.
Heavy.
Title.
titled "Danger in Moscow."
I love it.
Wow.
It's a take off MJ's "Stranger in Moscow" from '95.
Right.
Talking about Michael Jackson.
For those that
for
don't
you
know,
chillins and you
I mean, it's a lot of
ignorants.
MJs, but y'all should know that one.
Yo, so you know exactly what you was doing when you got the news that Mike passed.
Absolutely.
And when I got that news, it was like, no way, that don't make no sense.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, deep down, I was like, I know that shit true, you son of a bitch.
Right.
Damn it.
Right. I was right there with you, I think.
Listen,
I feel like that's about where I was at with it.
it's so crazy that you said that, because I was thinking about that this morning when I was in the shower, and I was just thinking about my day, and I knew I was going to be sitting with you. And it's crazy because I don't know if you remember, we go way back to elementary school, right?
Wow.
But I don't know if you remember, Miss PA one time told us we had an assignment to go home and ask our parents or grandparents where they were when JFK was
died,
shot.
yep.
Exactly.
Do you remember that assignment?
I do.
Exactly.
So it's so funny. So I was thinking about, my day, and I was like, damn, I know exactly where I was when MJ died. I was with my sister and my niece, who my brother passed. My brother was killed, and that was my connection. I told you that's my connection with MJ is through my brother. So it was me, my sister, and his daughter. And we kept hearing the beach, and we keep hearing all this MJ playing, all this. And we like, this is real odd.
It ain't his birthday.
That's exactly what I said. You know me.
That's what I be thinking. Like, it's his birthday.
I was like, it ain't his birthday, and we on the beach. And I'm like, yo, something just ain't right. Like, and I looked up, and they said he died. So we wrote in the sand, rest in peace, MJ, with the hearts and all that. Like,
Yeah.
so it was just crazy that you said. So, and me thinking about you, you're right. Like, everybody knows
That was
where they were.
That was the same moment for our generation.
But just think about, like, how many of those moments our generation actually had in unity, especially recently.
Yeah.
Like, we could go from 9/11, for one. You know what I mean? That we all, like,
Yeah.
everybody in
It's
my
changed.
age group was in college at that time.
Yeah.
So, like, you was out of state more than likely, away from your comfort zone when that happened. So you remember that specifically. You could talk about Kobe's, Tupac's, Biggie's, Nipsey's. That is like, if you are a part of hip-hop, you felt all of those.
Mm-hmm.
You felt every one of those. You don't have to like this artist. You didn't have to hear. You knew their impact. You knew what they came from, how far they made it, and what they possibly could have did if they made it to 50 years old.
Imagine if Pac was still
They
acting
was
right now.
23? They was babies.
They were babies.
Imagine
was
if
babies.
Pac was acting right now,
They was babies.
coming
bro.
up under Denzel. Are you kidding me? Listen,
Yeah.
they can't have that.
Imagine the kind of man and
They can't
mogul
have
that Biggie would have became.
Right.
Imagine the kind of mogul he would have been. Because he was on his business. He was trying to fall back from music then.
Yo, it's almost better that we not imagine.
Yeah, because it's going to hurt.
It's going to
It's going to
hurt.
hurt. It's going to hurt.
And then guess
It's
what?
gonna hurt.
And then guess what? That hurt got to go somewhere.
Yeah, well, you know.
The dog, the wife, the kids, the guy at work. It ain't, you know what I'm saying? Easy.
I smoke McWeed.
For me, before we get off of that, because something just took me, like, Pac was definitely, we already know, like, he was intelligent. I think he was before his time, or maybe he was right on time.
Like
and
he
it was
three
just,
times already.
right, you see what I'm saying? So I just
yeah.
appreciate, like I can't imagine where Pac would have gone with his thought process and his intelligence and his and tune and in touch with the community.
And gaining resources along the way.
Yep.
Because like what's
Exactly.
possible is based on hanging around and still being who you are that whole time, which is relevant for
Right.
him.
And-
He's always relevant.
And without having those resources that you talked about for all those years, from then to now, it's still so easy to forget that he was only 20-something years old.
Early 20s.
Even when we were a bit younger than him, it was like he was a grown-up who had lived a whole grown life. And then when you got that age yourself, you was like, dang.
I ain't on it like
You know
that.
what I'm saying?
I'm not
still
on it like
saying
Pac
right now,
was.
like, I'm
And that's
still
what I'm talking
amazed.
about. And then,
The thing-
then 20 years after that, you know what I mean? We looking back on that age as young bucks, and we still not nowhere near that level.
Right.
And it's so easy to forget he was only 20
know what's
something years
crazy?
old. Now, before you jump in, dig this. Take all of that magic, right,
Okay.
for what it's worth, and then how much more is that magic does Mike have?
Right. Right.
So much bigger than hip hop, so much bigger than movies.
Performed
just
literally in front of a million
worldwide.
people.
He cracked the whole world with that news. The whole world cracked.
Yeah. I think that mic effect is something that we've never
about to
seen
say, how
and
many
we'll
times
never
he-
see again though.
How many times did he crack
Like
the world? is what I
he
was
was
gonna say.
performing in front of 100,000 to 1,000,000 people every time he went overseas.
Listen, how many times did he crack it? I remember, again, thinking about those memorable
many
moments.
times
I
did he
remember when he
crack?
broke out the moonwalk. I don't know if it was, I think it was the Grammys.
Yo.
I was like 6. I remember sitting in the living room.
And everybody was there.
Yo, I remember that.
Remember when he used to debut his videos on Channel 6 during
Yes.
primetime television?
Videos.
Yes.
And then the movie would come up 3 months later and it'd be a
Yo.
whole
Yo, it was
man,
an event.
Moonwalker.
It was an event.
I was,
man.
about to go to
Moonwalker.
Do-I?
Listen, let me tell you, I was about to go to Moonwalker. This is why me and Martin we be like connecting, right? So let me tell you, not only my brother is a connection, my son is 7 years old. Guess what he's watching and love and watch every day?
You watch Moonwalker?
Moonwalker.
Get the
DJ.
fuck out of here. You doing
Walks.
something right, nigga.
Yeah.
You doing something right, nigga.
Definitely.
My son be
Salute to
on.
y'all.
Listen, he be watching Moonwalker.
No, but I
And we
mean,
watched it the other day, and I got a clip in my phone from it because it's something that nobody ever remembers. It's this one scene that nobody ever remembers, and I'm asking you if you remember this. So, it's like in the beginning of Moonwalker, right before when Mike be on the he be on the steps, and it's like these little I don't even know who's saying it, but they be like, "Hi neighbor, hi neighbor." Like nobody even knows, but you don't even know who's saying it. It's like little animals or something. It's like little insects or something that's saying it, and
Now-
nobody knows it. And I got it in my phone because nobody remembers
Okay,
this
I
line.
gotta tell you, I do not, but the feeling of it rings of the beginning of the Wiz.
The Wiz.
Yep.
With the creepy little joint
Exactly.
they peeling out the wall.
Exactly.
Okay, I can feel it. I can
Exactly.
feel
You
it.
And
don't
I just
see
caught
him,
the
but you
Wiz
can feel
recently
it.
from like the middle, but yeah.
Yeah, I can
Let's
feel
talk
it.
about that because for me, I know that the Wiz had a major impact on
Event.
you
Another event.
and also the culmination of what you're doing right now.
It was one of those things. I'm gonna tell you, straight up, my neighbor, and I don't mean no disrespect when I say this.
Closer to the mic.
Oh yeah, I don't mean no disrespect when I say this, and everybody on the block want to know what I'm talking about. But my neighbor was the meanest, baddest. Don't take no shit, no time.
Right.
Okay, you ever seen? Now, my pop the baddest motherfucker
Ever.
walking.
Right.
They don't have no trouble.
Right.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
Right.
You got understanding.
Now, when the Wiz came out, I was probably 8, 9, something like that. She came and snatched me out the street. Go tell your mother you coming with me. Excuse me, I said Go tell your mother you coming with me. Turn my black ass around.
Yeah.
Followed orders.
Go told my mother I was going with her. Whatever happened after that, they worked it the hell out. All I know was I was in her bedroom. In the sitting at the foot of her bed. Nobody even knows whether this room actually exists on Earth.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yo, he is funny.
And I'm in the holy of holies at the best at the foot of the bed, and I'm in there with her grandkids, and we watch The Wiz. And y'all shut the fuck up and watch the show.
Right.
Okay? Don't ask me
Later
for no
you gonna figure out who
popcorn,
all these motherfuckers is, because everybody in it.
no tater chips,
Y'all ain't had no chips and
no
popcorn?
pretzels. You shut the fuck
Hold up,
up.
for some clarity. Is this the play or the movie?
The movie, the TV joint.
Okay. Right. Okay.
That is
So
important.
it was an event.
Okay.
That's what I'm getting to.
Right.
Just like the mic shit with the Grammys, it was an
Right.
event.
Absolutely.
No, I had a neighbor that used to pull me over with her nieces and nephews for shit like that too. Like,
Y'all sit down, shut the fuck
y'all gonna
up.
watch
Right,
it
right,
right
right.
here, and we used to
What
be
part
at
of the
the
city is
foot of
this
her
in?
bed.
Uptown,
Okay.
Broadnani.
Okay.
So once you seen it, what was the effect on you immediately? What did you gain from that?
Yo, when I'm gonna take the immediately first. I'm gonna answer what I gained from it second.
Yeah.
Immediately, that shit was creepy as shit.
It's a lot of weird shit in The Wiz.
Especially that
It really
beginning
is.
part. Especially that beginning part.
Right.
With the they was peeling out
Off
the
the
walls
walls,
and shit.
All the graffiti joint?
Yeah, and had the weird ass music shit.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird.
But the first
That's
thing
why
you
I love it,
see
though.
is a playground at nighttime, and you like, all right.
Right,
and then
right.
it get weird.
It was like
Yo, you got the beat right on point, too.
Yo. And it was enough to make you want to get up and go the fuck home. Except
She said, sit your
Sit.
ass.
okay. Oh, I'm good with the cussing and screaming and all that?
yeah, we Gucci.
Yo.
Gucci.
So, yeah. So it was an event. Same thing with the mic. You know what I mean? Y'all sit down. Y'all shut the fuck up. And that was the shit.
So what did you gain from it long run?
Oh yeah. So, yo man, I recognize that just as much as you can't take it serious, it's just art.
Right.
At that same extent, you got to take it serious.
Right.
It
Because
means
it's- because it's art.
because it means something.
Yep.
Somebody because somebody made the shit.
Yep.
None of that shit's by accident. Why the fuck are you coming out the fucking wall for? That shit ain't no accident. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's just a movie.
Right.
And another thing that sat with me when I watched that shit, it sits with me for different reasons. Partly because it was creepy. Another part was those flying monkeys.
I knew it was coming.
Right.
I knew it was coming.
The way they moved and shit and all that shit
I
was
ain't want to
spooky as
interrupt, but
shit.
that fucked me up. And
then-
then her yelling,
Yo, and then on top of that,
stopping,
Yeah.
man.
dig this.
Whew.
It's funny that you said the play. Because my mom and pop took me to the play when I was a baby. I never remembered the fucking Wiz. I don't know what the fucking Wiz
Let me
was.
find out you caught PTSD.
I didn't know
Right.
I didn't know I saw this shit.
Right.
Yo, after I saw the movie on TV, I remembered the shit, which I thought was a nightmare, that I thought was a fucking dream, that I thought
Right.
was, I don't know what that was, but now I know what that was.
Right.
It was the fucking monkeys.
Yep.
Oh, shoot.
That's the shit I remember. It was
That's
two
what
shits.
always stick out to me.
Two shits I remember from that
You
play.
got that wall and the monkeys. I got the monkeys.
The monkeys.
The hole in the when she
and when she
'Cause for me, it was
when she
even-
melted.
the play and
Yeah,
the movies
Mount
when she
was
go
it.
down the toilet when she sing both times, that was like pivotal for me too.
So like, damn, that's crazy because he said a lot. Like I recently this week, a couple days ago, I had my little cousin on here, had Carla's son on here,
Okay.
and he's a director now, and he's
No
doing
wonder.
videos, working his way up to movies and stuff like that. And he has a completely different vision, just like a lot of these youngins do, about how he wants to carry it. And it really, you made me think of it when you said you got to take it serious because it's art. You got because somebody made it. for a reason, and they had a purpose and a vision behind it. That a lot of the times, it's like a Jay-Z album. You might not get it till the 20th time that you watch it. Like, oh shit, I didn't even notice that head popped up at that precise moment for that purpose.
Yup.
And it changes the whole outlook on the whole scene.
My man to shoot you.
You see what I'm? Yeah, like it just be so crazy how you notice shit when the artist. I was watching Do the Right Thing earlier. Learned something new today than the 50 million times I seen Do the Right Thing before.
Right.
Just because of my perspective as a man now.
Yo, and then when you coming from a certain spirit, you coming from a certain place, it's gonna be shit that you do that's gonna work towards the art that you didn't even know you was doing.
I was just explaining that to people. I said there's so much stuff that I did in life and so many things that my parents forced me to do in life that right now everything I'm doing is all coming back around. The only thing that doesn't exist is the fucking subjects that I didn't like when I was a kid because I knew they was pointless. They still don't matter. Everything else is coming back full circle down to this, the things that I need to keep this going on or that. You know what I mean? Like it's all coming to a thing where I'm grateful for everything I've been through. You know how people go through hell and be like, I wouldn't change it? I've been through quite a bit of fire and I'm good with it. You know, because like it got me here, similar to what you were saying. And I mean, Sal can attest to it. She been through all types of walks of life, periods of life. She done worked everywhere, mostly as a supervisor, I believe. I think you lied on your resume when you started out, and then they just believed you the rest of your life because you've been supervising since you was like 13.
I'm about to say, but you know, I really was supervising since I was like 13.
Like
no lies
crazy.
necessary. Like
when you really think about it, that's bullshit though.
But knowing her, you ain't surprised
at all. Well, I always know that she's capable of so much more than she even knows. Because she has a lot of accomplishments, and a lot of the times it's easy to just work in that realm because you wear multiple hats already. But I know her head is a little bigger than she think it is. She can fit a couple more caps on it. It's like that rack over there. We tilt this one this way, tilt it that way. It all sit up there. You be all right.
But you can't force it though. It ain't your call.
But she doesn't, and I don't force her. Like, perfect example, and we say this on here probably too much. I swindled her into being my co-host. I said I wanted her as a guest.
So how can you ask for anything more?
She came through as a guest. Next thing you know, she was like, I want to do the shit.
You already got a bonus. You already got a bonus.
I knew I wanted her. I just knew that, like, just to say it is one thing, but sometimes you got to present shit.
Yeah, man, that's why you got to. That's why it's important, man. You got to be true to yourself. You got to follow your heart.
Absolutely.
But y'all got me reminiscing.
And you're going to make mistakes, and so what? It's part of the game.
No, that come with it.
You might as well make mistakes going towards the shit you want to do.
You want to do.
What the fuck? You going to make mistakes anyway?
Right.
You might as well fall the fuck up the steps, you dumbass.
Right.
And on some real shit, the pendulum always swings. You're not going to be up forever. You're going to have dry spells, so you might as well catch those licks for yourself. You know what I mean? Get that ass whooping on your own terms for your own dream. Because that's what it is. And I'm sure everybody up here can attest to going through that.
You speaking real. That's how you keep your mood up. That's how you keep your vibration up. Recognizing the shit like that when you can put it in perspective.
But you know, sometimes being down before is the only reason that you could do that.
Absolutely.
Like, you have to go through that swing. 100%. You gotta take that hit one time. You know what I mean? Like, and once you survive that motherfucker, and then you realize, like, damn, I ain't even as bad as I was then. I was just up higher than I was before. I can get there again.
It'd be like sometimes when you down, you actually be in a better position.
You better off.
Listen.
You better off. And
you know
all the fucking grass gets cut.
Listen.
All the grass get cut when you down. Motherfuckers disappear. You be good.
Yeah.
You be good. Who still here? 3 of us? Word. That's what we going with.
Yo, I'm going through that right now, but also I want to also say, like, to experience joy, you need pain, right? Like, I mean, I just feel like it's just like you said, to even realize that you up, you got to be down, because you ain't even gonna know.
What's the contrast?
Yeah.
What's the contrast? But also, like, part of it, the thing that it gives you is to look at the glasses half full instead of half empty.
Right.
Because that's a contrast too.
I'm definitely.
And you know what helps, and I'm learning this. What helps with seeing the glass half full and playing it half empty like that is, like you said, it's on a pendulum. It's going to be ups, it's going to be downs. But if you could catch the downs on the next level,
then you still leveling up.
and then catch the up for the next level.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You could do it like that. Like you could like
Then
I don't know if
then
I
it
ain't
becomes
said-
a sea dragon. Now
Exactly.
we on this side a little longer.
Exactly.
Now we might go all the way, but we ain't gonna go all the way
You know what
over.
I'm
We
talking
go.
about.
I know what you're talking
it's
about.
like a ratchet. You know what I'm saying? When you come back, you ain't losing ground.
Oh, right.
When you go up, you gaining ground. But when you come back, you don't lose the ground. But you gotta go. You gotta turn the bitch back though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's
yeah.
you gotta go back.
Right.
But let it go back on. You know what I'm saying? On some shit that is, like you said, is what you want and what you can handle on your own terms. And then that way you don't catch the bad mood.
Right.
You don't catch the fear. You don't catch the anger. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you know what I would compare that to? I would compare that to like our current times too, like with the coronavirus and having to change. You know, first everybody had to sit still. Like unless you was working in a hospital, everybody had to sit still. Unless
Yeah, I
you was a
calling
first
it a
responder.
reset.
And that's what I'm saying. So I'm looking at it the same way with that pendulum.
Exactly.
It's still a reset. So I feel like right now everybody is experiencing that. Right, we're in different stages and phases depending on where you are. Yeah. But I feel like that's like something that we can kind of like compare to in our current situation.
And like if you was fortunate enough to keep that check coming every 2 weeks, and you still staying the fuck home every day, guess what?
Right.
You didn't lose no ground when the ratchet turned back.
Nope.
And I didn't have a regular check coming in, but I had a lump sum coming right before that. So I wasn't stressed about that. My anxiety comes from what most people did, being stuck in the house.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I don't mind being around myself in my own space. I don't have that problem.
Except when you do.
But I'm also just been running my whole life. Like I didn't know if I could sit still. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes people dwell on that, like I can't do this, I can't. Before you figure out if you can.
That's the new shit. You know what I mean? You gotta learn.
And I mean, I've been using this time to learn something that I've been telling myself I need to learn as an adult for a long time, which is patience.
Mm-hmm.
And
definitely
everything
that.
about this situation, especially when it started, just required more patience. Mail slower, take longer to get in the store. Everything was just weird.
Yo.
People was frustrated.
You halfway there.
You know what I mean? And
You
I'm
halfway
working
there.
on it. I'm working on it.
What they said when in the commercials when G.I. Joe come on, no one is half the battle.
Her favorite quote.
Did I ever tell you that line?
Her favorite quote.
Probably came up probably came up.
I don't think I ever did though. That's my point. My point is I don't think you and I ever had that conversation.
Probably not.
That was my point. I was trying to
it's your
like
brother.
obviously.
You was watching G.I. Joe. You was watching Transformers. You know those commercials because your brother was watching it.
Yeah, and I'm just me. He don't know how rough I am. See, I met him in an office setting, so he know how real we are because real recognize real. But he don't know how real
three
get.
girls that played tag football on concrete with us at lunchtime, and in a uniform skirt.
What? Ew.
Because we used to play every man for himself with a tennis ball. Just throw it up.
Killer Man.
Killer Man shit.
With a tennis ball?
They used to play.
Listen, I'm telling you.
You can't even fumble with a tennis ball.
You gotta really take the motherfucker down in his uniform.
There's no fumbling with a tennis ball.
And
You going down.
He was in private school, so.
And our cousin Wes would get the ball, run back and forth about 4 or 5 times before he ever got touched.
Yeah.
And then if you touch him, he's spinning off.
Yeah.
He roll on the ground. Like, you used
He
to
play-
really
he
have
play
to.
ball?
Yeah, he played football for real
Yeah.
at one point.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
man, life happens.
Those was them
but
days, man.
I'm talking about a dog.
Those was
and we
them
used to be
days.
on concrete just falling, diving.
Yeah, all
at
this on
motherfucker.
concrete, mind you.
Tell me about it.
All this on concrete,
Nigga,
mind
I
you.
learned
But-
to roll. I learned to tuck and roll
Early.
early.
Yeah.
Off the bike.
You gotta learn how to fall
I put
before
that-
you do anything.
Hey, yo,
Absolutely.
tell me about
You
it.
gotta learn how to fall first.
Yo, now take that and put it to what the fuck
We was
said
just talking
earlier.
about, but such is life. You see what I'm saying? Like, I believe all that shit. That's why I believe how much sports gives people, especially team sports, gives people. Because when you get in the workplace, I could probably tell you by lunch who the fuck ain't never been on no fucking
How
real
about that?
club or nothing,
How
no
about
team.
that? How about that?
Because the smallest things that you got to go through as a worker drives them fucking insane. They don't know how to communicate. They this, that, and the third. It's just so many things that pops up that's like, you just got to learn how to deal
Yo,
and get through it and get your W how you get it. Even
right.
if it's ugly.
You're right.
Get that W.
And it's a shame because you grow up and they teach you, you know what I mean, to be honest and, you know what I mean, to be kind. And you get out here and it worked for a good long time. You know what I mean? Till you on your own, you get out here, yo, and you look around, you the only one doing that shit.
Because in there, they're being kind to you because you're doing for them. They coming up off of what you got going on. I'll smile at you every day if I could sign my name on everything you did.
Damn.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
Where you
horrible,
get in the
man.
rest of the world, everybody else frustrated by the world. By the fucking world. But my thing, and I tell people, especially entrepreneurs, entertainers, and shit like that, creators, don't take this shit personal.
Don't take the shit.
Don't take it personal. Everybody got the same story of betrayal, letdown, assholes, swindlers, fucking people that just wanted their body or whatever the fuck.
And guess
somebody
what?
that wanted to come up off of their connections. We all know about it.
And they doing their best. That's what I remind
Keep rumbling.
myself. When a motherfucker play me, yo, you gotta protect your shit. You gotta do what you gotta do. That goes without saying. But as far as your personal feelings, yo, guess what? That nigga really was doing his best.
And then that's the other
That was the
rule.
best he could come up with. Was fucking lie about
Swindling.
that bullshit
The best thing you could do
and
is
try to
swindle.
cover it up.
But it's like the Bronx Tale thing that my dad told me before I even seen Bronx Tale as a kid, which is if somebody owes you $20, $30 and they hiding from you for $20, $30, then you just got rid of somebody for $20, $30
Yeah.
that you would have spent thousands and millions on throughout a lifetime
Shout
because
out
you considered them
to
a friend
Bobby
or somebody that was worthy
D.
of that. You see what I'm saying?
Yo.
And it's a fact because at the end of the day, me, you, and her could go to the bar now. I'm pretty sure I would spend more than $30 on you if we drinking and having it. You see what I'm saying? Off of just,
hour.
I met you how long ago?
In a half hour. Shout out
You
to
see what
Bobby
I'm
D,
saying?
yo.
And so sometimes you just gotta, all right, I got played, but you just played yourself. Because I'm the same one that'll get out of bed in the middle of the night using a car accident or some shit.
Jules.
You know what I mean? I'm the
Jules.
same motherfucker that'll make sure, oh shit, I'm going out of town, check on my mom, or make sure my mail is in the crib. I'm that guy. Shit you can't trust everybody with. So that $30, now I ain't gotta worry about your whole family no more. We good.
Yeah.
So y'all had me really, y'all got me
we had to
thinking.
go through the arguing. We had to go through the, you know what I'm saying? Yup. I'm sorry.
Y'all, no. Y'all had me thinking because both of you know that, like, I call myself, like, and I never said this out loud, but I call myself, like, or I think of myself as, like, an ambassador of positivity, right? I always try to be positive. But you definitely know that, I don't think you've ever seen it, but but I have another side, right? But my whole thing is I try to check myself. So sometimes, even in some recent things that I've been going through personally, like, I be really trying to check myself because it'd be for a quick moment where I be, like, about to respond one way. But I check myself because it's so important for me to not even take it there because I know where I can go. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So right now it's like a conscious decision for me to always stay on this side.
And
But
it's
when you dangerous, nothing's more dangerous to you than you. Like when you're somebody that's volatile, when you know how far you can take it, when you know once you pass this you can't stop it, and whether you get hurt or not is not as important as when you snap out of it in jail.
Right.
Then you only control that. And I tell young men all the time, like, your number one job is to stay out here, stay alive. That's
Right.
your number one
right.
job.
Exactly. 'Cause
Stay out here and stay alive.
You're fighting.
So if I gotta control my fucking temper to back that up that I've been preaching,
That's your number
then
one
I gotta
fight.
do that,
That's your
man.
number one fight.
Right. So I just been dealing with some other things. So I'm just happy to hear this conversation because I just checked myself again because I'm just checking myself. But what
I
I
went through shit recently when I was like, yo, man, you've grown a lot.
Yo, and you know, it sucks because in the end, right, you the only one that really wins. I mean, like, you win from controlling yourself.
Absolutely.
So it kind of sucks because it's like,
And it becomes a habit.
It's like, where's the reward? It was like that's
Right.
it's like that's what I was supposed to get anyway.
right. So for me,
You know what I mean? I
right.
feel
A lot
you.
of times we think about the instant gratification, right? So that's what I'm battling, that instant gratification. Like, oh, you don't know me. Everything ain't for everybody, right? I don't have to show. It's not necessary.
And
like,
you definitely want them. They don't
Yeah,
know who
right.
I am. Yeah, you get like that.
Right.
But like with me, my thing has always been, one, I got a temper. But I have a lot of pride, and that works directly against my anxiety.
Okay, hold. Give me a second with that. Got a lot of pride, and it works against my anxiety.
Which
Okay.
means my window for disrespect is smaller than most people's window. The things that I think
You get anxious quick
might be
from
disrespectful
the pride.
will fucking, you probably look at it, maybe not you, but another person look at it like it wasn't that deep. It angers me to the point that if I don't do something, 3, 4, 8 hours later, I'll be throwing up or some shit from my stomach being in knots from not hitting you.
I mean, it ain't from not hitting them. That's the excuse.
It's from not having a release.
It's the excuse. But the release got built up because you didn't communicate it.
Because certain disrespect, I only knew how to communicate one way as a young man.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? And that's why I'm saying I've been through shit now and that's been like, yo, you really grown.
Exactly.
Let me interject.
But you gotta protect yourself
At all times.
as far as following your heart. You gotta be honest with yourself as far as if it's a problem. I mean, you gotta figure out the best way, and the best way always comes from a place of love. You know what I'm saying? But you got to come up with a way to be able to express that. You know what I'm saying? That
No,
to the
that's
point
what
where
I have done.
Exactly.
That's what I have done.
If it's making you physically sick, you deserve it to yourself to talk to that person. The thing is, you just don't trust whether you can control yourself in his response.
At that time, I did.
Right.
At that time, I did.
Right, and that's
like,
that's your responsibility.
You ain't wrong.
That's your responsibility.
That's why I say the same thing to others because I'm an example of that. Like, motherfuckers could tell you the craziest shit in the world about me, and motherfuckers tell you the best shit in the world about me. But lately, it's just been a lot of good shit because I don't have the energy, the time, and those things don't bother me as much.
That's good.
But also, I know what I could stand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The older you get, the more you know what you can stand. There was a time where you was worried about how somebody else felt about how you handled your situation.
Yeah, man.
Now, as long as me and this man know what the fuck happened, I don't give a fuck what y'all know.
I was fortunate in that, man. I got that early, man. I got that early.
Yeah, and and not saying that was always the main thing, because the main thing was always how I felt. But one thing that'll make something never die, like even if you handle it, say y'all mix, whatever, y'all had a conversation, is the fact that there's the egging on from the outside sometimes. And that's not just on your side, that's on the other side too. You know what I mean? That's why.
Yeah, definitely.
I got groups of people. I got squads.
That's why I gotta That's why I gotta be private.
We can't do that.
That's why I gotta be private.
If they going through something, y'all stay the fuck out of it or try to make it better. But don't start making jokes just because you around one or around the other and think that it's cool, because he might not feel that shit, and it's going to spill to a point where it's not going to make sense. You see what I'm saying? Because it's like you said, it's built up, it's been a thing, and now I'm not a man. And
it's bullshit. That's the trick of the enemy, man.
It hurts, man.
Yeah,
that's a lot of people. I'm glad
that's what he uses.
And I ain't perfect. I'm not there yet. Trust me.
That's what he uses.
Don't ever think that I'm there yet. I'll tell y'all when I'm there. When I could do the Zen poses and shit, I'll be there.
Zen the fuck out. So I want to bring it to us a couple of things I want to say, but I'm not even gonna make it about me right now.
Shout out the yoga class.
Listen,
that was the best class in college. Excuse me.
I took yoga. I took walking.
I took dance. Of course, I took dance.
I took walking out there jogging.
But so, how do you think? Like, so speaking of that, like somebody that was faced, like MJ was faced with those types of challenges all the time, right? He was faced with a lot of.
Wow.
You know, I'm gonna bring it back to that. I feel like he was faced with a lot of, not necessarily adversity, but a lot of opinions, and introspection. Right. Absolutely. How do you feel? Because I think you're an avid fan as I am. How do you feel he channeled that, or what? I definitely think he channeled it through his music. But how do you think he resolved that?
Oh man, well, wow.
I thought of so many answers.
Yeah.
Appropriate.
Like you said.
I was trying to think of
definitely in his music, you know, I think he did a good job of smoothing it out. You know. And making it, you know, tasteful for the pop genre.
Sure.
But it's in there.
He brought a lot of messages too. A lot of
it's
people.
In there.
He had a lot of messages. A lot of people, like even black or white. I mean, that was just that was in your face.
He started getting bold,
but they don't care about us.
Yeah.
Earth Song. He had a lot of songs that were bringing attention to a lot of issues.
And I think the prescription.
But hold on, beyond that, he wore a mask and people talk shit about him wearing a mask. And look at us now.
No, like really, I said that when this shit first started. I'm like, he was traveling around the world, being around 100,000 people at a time. He showed y'all what he had to do that. And it was because
he already knew.
He knew
man.
to play.
Yo.
But what I was about to say was, we always talk about how timeless Mike's music was. It's more about how universal his appeal is.
Absolutely.
Because even at that time, he had the whole world. Now you play the same song for a 3-year-old.
Heal the world.
and they go crazy like it's their shit. You know what I mean? I think like
Wow.
I don't
Like
know
it's
if
their
anybody has had that large an appeal overall. Like fuck sales.
Ever.
Fuck, you know what I
You
mean?
got a couple of joints. You got what you got. You got what? Yankee Doodle Dandy. You got the ice cream song. You know, Happy Birthday. Like you got like 5 or 6.
And then you got 100 Michael Jackson tracks.
You know what I'm saying? That's it.
That's
that everybody know. That everybody know.
Everybody. It's just, I mean, just thinking about it, because like everybody puts Mike against Prince, and artistically, I see the argument. But as far as appeal, Prince still was so rugged that he didn't appeal to everybody that way. But like I was engulfed in Prince movies and videos. My aunt was obsessed with Prince.
Yeah, man.
So like
Prince is special.
Purple Rain, Graffiti Bridge, all that shit.
Prince was special,
Man.
man.
I had to watch that shit every weekend.
Right.
Talk about musician.
I don't know if my dad really messed
Prince
with
played
Apollonia.
everything.
I don't know if my dad like you know when your parents say something when you was younger and you know, but my dad really had the capacity to actually really mess with her back in the day.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
I don't know if he
Mike
really
did.
I don't know if he really did or if he didn't, but like
Well, who?
Apollonia.
Apollonia. Who that?
From Purple Rain.
Purple Rain.
I
Oh.
want to see you wash his
What's that,
body in
Vanity Six?
Lake Minnetonka.
Man,
The
please.
badge on.
How you think? Listen, you think she would have got the job if she wasn't acting like, you know what I'm saying, with the way he needs you to act like?
Well, I ain't talking about him. I'm talking about my real dad.
Talk about her dad.
I'm talking about my real dad.
Messing with Apollonia?
That's what I'm saying. Like he made
Oh,
a comment
shit.
back in the day. My dad had a lot of. Listen, I ain't even gonna put him out
Oh,
Dad was
shit.
a bull. Dad was a bull.
there. Yeah. So when he made a
Oh,
comment, I'm like,
shit.
did he really mess with her? Or is it like?
I want to know what
Listen.
the comment was.
I can't really remember, but I know it made me think. It made me think
it
like,
put you in that frame of mind.
like that's another one of them. Like,
That's horrible, because I
Wow.
instantly started trying to see Apollonia in your face.
wasn't she
Yo.
naked in that picture? I think she was naked in it.
She
wasn't
was naked in the movie at
Yeah,
one point,
yeah.
maybe two. But that's hilarious. As if she wouldn't know her mom was Apollonia.
Right, exactly.
Like
Exactly.
when you really think about what he just said,
Exactly.
he did wrong.
Yeah, wrong. Trying to force it.
He said she is light skinned with a round face.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, you stupid. Cause I caught all of that.
Even Twiggy is like,
I'm like, this nigga is tweaking. But I'm like, at first I was like, how do I address it without it sounding so crazy? Because we are on air. I don't want to make him sound crazy.
Yo.
But that was hilarious.
You know,
yo.
I'm tossing mouse.
Like she wouldn't know who Bob
know.
Dukes was. That's
right.
funny. But no, let's get a little bit more into what
Into your
you.
project,
Yeah,
yeah.
man. we
Okay,
gotta get
yeah,
into that.
yeah, get in more so. Yo. So after I got the news, it wasn't too long after that, like you was saying, they was playing this music on the radio, and the joint Stranger in Moscow. That day, that time, it spoke to me. And I was seeing shit, but I was like, I wasn't sure if it really fit with the song. I was like, that's some fly shit. If that shit were to go with something, it'd be fly.
Right.
And it would be different parts of the song, different, I mean, like little transitions I hear. You know what I'm saying? He'd be saying this or saying that. I'd be like, yo, he said, we talking danger. I mean, he said, I'm living lonely, man. We talking danger.
and look how he died. Oh my goodness.
And I was like, yo. And then what happened was, I started thinking about it. And then the different little, you know, images that I saw actually started to fit with the song. I'm like, yo, it's not as random as maybe I thought. And I'm like, hold up. Not only this image go, this other image goes. I'm like, damn, this image goes. I'm like, yo, he really actually talking about that.
So now there's a direction.
Now I gotta, not yet.
Okay.
It's formless.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like space dust. I had to make a direction. Honestly, I had to be receptive to a direction.
Right. Right.
Put my little mustard here and there. You know what I mean? Sauce up this slice of bread, sauce up that slice of bread. You know what I'm saying? The meat was already there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay. I just started listening for for whatever I could use.
And this is
to
still
make
in your head at this point.
What's in my head?
Everything, or you
Yeah, everything. Oh yeah,
still
everything
in
in
your
my
head.
head. Like this image. I'm like, oh, they all go. I'm just trying to find a way to string them together in a narrative.
and then you could get to the next part.
And then I get to the next part. I need exactly. Exactly. I need exactly. So once I could get a story, so that's really what the work was.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Grinding out a story, a line from all these different images that fit with the song, and then when I had it, I was like, yo, I owe it to Mike, I owe it to the world, I owe it to myself, just out of, you know what I mean, good measure. You know what I mean? To put the work in and let people see what I'm seeing, yo. Because
That's ill, though.
As far as I'm concerned, yo,
That's ill.
what he's saying is just as plain as what I got
From it, right.
You know what I'm saying? So I got you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
right.
I put the work in. It's like a preacher. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else go to work Monday through Friday. You know what I'm saying? You built just like anybody else to study the word. You know what I'm saying? Get that direction.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you head first, feet first, and doing what somebody else needs you to do to get this money. You know what I'm saying? The preacher working on the word Monday through Friday. You know what I'm saying? If you're lucky. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, look, I didn't work Monday through Friday.
If you know anything about a good preacher, he always working. You gotta go see the sick. You gotta go.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You gotta go give
That's
benediction to
going to
people. All
build
type
that
of
character.
stuff,
That's
man.
going to
Like,
build that connection.
First Sundays, all of that, man. Like they working, man.
So I did all of that. Monday work, Tuesday
Any
work.
good religious leader, for that matter.
So it's Sunday now. Y'all come to the church. If you show up, you can have everything.
get some of this.
You get some of this. All of it.
As much of this,
As much as you can muster.
Yep.
As you can swallow. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. You know what I mean? Some paprika, Old Bay. You know what I mean?
And in the black church, I'm gonna give you some entertainment with it. We gonna go high, we gonna go low, we gonna dance, we gonna shout, we gonna do all of that. But you gonna get as much of this as you receptive to.
Exactly. Action. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that
Drama.
school should be like that shit.
How about that?
Listen.
In 2 hours, you get to do all that. The kids will learn a lot more. Trust me. And you can do it in one room for 2 hours straight before you sit a kid in that room for 45 minutes.
I feel like between Miss PA, but with Miss PA and Mr. Robinson, I feel like we did get that. You hear me?
Yeah, with Mr. Robinson, we
and
got
Miss
that.
PA too.
Miss PA also.
We was watching the best of Eddie Murphy in 6th grade,
Miss PA
dog. I don't
gave us
know.
so much culture because she made us watch everything that she cared about. That
And
was
the
black.
Titanic. We watched
And the
Sherlock
Titanic.
Holmes. I mean, we was watching all this in like 6th, 7th, 8th grade. Like,
you gotta follow your
But
heart,
every
yo.
library day was a movie day.
It
So
was a
nobody
movie day.
complained. We just sat there and watched movies, and a lot of it was dope.
Wow.
so when the movie Titanic came out and everybody was all we knew the facts about it because when we watched
I didn't want
Titanic,
to see the movie because I had seen like 5 documentaries.
right,
on
we
it.
was watching documentaries about it, like SOS when they didn't even listen
People
and they
that
turned
was diving for the shit. all
exactly
that
like
shit.
we seen all of that. But what I'm saying, this was a 6th, 7th, 8th grade, and although we went to an all black private school, amazing black private school, like they taught us about it was well rounded. Like black history was every day.
Wow.
Let's be clear.
Black History Day was every day.
It was every day.
I didn't get that.
But like I said, even being exposed to the Titanic, like just even us learning about the Titanic, like it was well rounded. So I appreciate that. So just shout out to our background, our history, our culture.
As we always do about this time.
You know, it'd be about that time.
No, real shit. Like we came up in an institution where most of the people that we went through that school with, we compare ourselves sometimes to the people that we've met since then, and just their level of awareness was they got it with Facebook.
Different.
You know what I mean? A lot of our friends got their awareness from Facebook. And that was way after us. Because we grew up when every time you walk down a hallway, it was everybody on the walls. Guyon Buford and Mary Claude Bethune and like just everybody. It was Martin, Malcolm and all that. That was light. Everybody was on the wall.
I mean, we had Phyllis Wheatley. I
Yeah,
mean,
like,
we had people. I mean, it was just so many things. So
and
like,
it's paragraphs and articles and
I won.
while you standing in line waiting to get let in class, you just reading it like
exactly because you have to. You got to stand in line,
You
right?
standing on the wall.
So we had oratorical contests. We had
cool,
all
man.
types of
I
things.
love
We
Black
had so
history
many
programs
different.
every year. Black history.
Yo, I won some money. Remember, I tell you a lot. Like,
I did the W.E.B. Du Bois. What's the name?
W.D. Boys, Booker T. Washington. I remember when you did that.
I did that, John.
Yeah,
my
like
man was Cab Calloway, embodied it one year. The white tux on with the top hat, trash it. Like 7th grade though, acting crazy. Cab Calloway, Heidi, all that.
Yeah,
we went through that. You know what I mean? So it was like different for us, and it's like that's what we appreciate about it.
You know what? For us, it was church. It was church for that. When you showed out, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For the plays, you know what I'm saying? The musicals, the choir.
That was the stuff my mom was putting me in. Everything at the church. She put me in dance school when I was a young boy. I was doing recitals and all that. Wound up being one of the main characters in the recital one year. And then I quit.
Yeah.
Like after that, I was too cool. Like I'm about that age where we just going hoop. But dance school was fly because there's only 5 boys in the whole dance school. So going to dance school was lit when you was a youngin'.
Of course.
Right.
My God, everybody in leotards.
Oh my goodness.
Growing.
Gracious.
The older girls is in there. Like,
if I may, another shout out to yoga class.
Yoga. I knew that yoga was coming back.
Yo, but I was thinking about even putting my son. So let me get y'all perspective on that. So my son, I told you, he watched Moonwalker. He danced all day long. Like I'm like, yo, sit down. Like
magic.
All this boy do was just
magic.
all day.
Dancing is different now.
Like all day, that's all he do. Like he would like to the bathroom. Like
dancing is different now, and there's a lot of different. I mean, the perception, like the connotation. And there's a lot of different kind of dance classes to take now. So like all this shit that these kids is doing.
I was gonna put him in hip hop. He loved Chris Brown. Like he loved dancing like Chris Brown and Michael Jackson.
But one thing is, I definitely danced like a white boy before they put me in dance class. So one thing I did learn is how to find a motherfucking beat.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't gonna front like I just naturally was a black kid that was. I was out there acting crazy at West.
Yo, I told you. Listen, I was going to also get him. So my one cousin. Shout out to just black people in general, but my little cousin is about to go to school to learn how to do like the music production for games, to like put the music for the games. And so my son, it's interesting because when he was 6, he just turned 7 2 weeks ago, but when he was 6 or even 5, he was like, "Mom, you hear that beat in the game? You hear that? Remember I told you a long time ago. Like I'm trying to tell you, like he's teaching himself how to play the piano, like from the little keyboard I bought him.
Music is the hook. That's
one
fly.
thing.
That's fly. Yeah, let him. Yeah, that's
but
fly.
one thing that I learned from Bible school, vacation Bible school, when I was young, and you know what was ill about this? My teacher was a Christian rapper, but he rapped like the Woo or like Grave Diggers. But he was a Christian rapper.
Yeah, that's funny.
So he had that tone and that energy. Yeah. So like we dug him. He was cool as shit. And he vibed with us because, you know, I was rapping back then. So it was like, all right, cool. But he said, there's a reason why the craziest stuff in the world will always have a soundtrack to it. Back in the day, even when you watch porn, there was always some form of music bed under the porn, because for those days, you didn't want to just hear somebody screaming. It was like taboo. So the way that they got people to stay in it was to have a repetitive beat that didn't have any variations. You see what I'm saying?
Tell me about it.
No variations. That way is no distraction in
it.
And it makes you pay attention to it. The reason that a lot of prayers and a lot of evil talk is done over music.
It's the hook.
Same reason. So like music could be one of the most dangerous things in the world.
Absolutely.
Like, especially I know anybody that studies Islam or has studied Islam knows the perception of that in that religion.
It sets you up for the mindset to be receptive, to be open, to not offer the resistance that you might put up otherwise.
You know without it, you definitely not even tuning in for more than 30 seconds.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? And it's crazy because even like I do radio. There's times where there'll be an instrumental on or a beat on that's playing right before I start talking, and I'll be like, no, let that play. Just turn that down. Like, let me talk over it. Yeah. Because I know the difference, and especially depending on how long I'm about to talk or how much I've talked, just to break it up.
You know what else does that? TV does that, yo. Mm-hmm. And now TV's got the music for sure underneath the same way. Mm-hmm. But you know what else does that? The internet does that.
Yeah.
And they don't necessarily, some of them here, some of them there, you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're talking about.
But that's scary that just the hook is in the visual now. Mm-hmm. They don't even need a bass drum and a snare.
Well, there's a way to work the visual where, and a lot of big marketing people are doing this. Like you might see a sneaker ad, right? Mm-hmm. On your news feed, a sponsored ad. Mm-hmm. And it's just running through sneakers fast as shit, right?
Yeah.
But there's 10 pairs of sneakers and they're showing it in 5 seconds. So now you got to watch that video 8 times just to see what that 6 pair of sneakers was.
about that.
And
There's
guess
a
what?
rhythm
Subconsciously,
to
you
it.
also
The
Trigger the
subconsciously.
curiosity.
The same
But
with
guess
the
what?
boomerang shit.
Subconsciously, you still picking up the other stuff too. So when you see
Absolutely,
it again,
absolutely.
you can be like, "Oh, I seen them Jones." Oh
And
yeah.
one thing
Get
I
you
learned
coming
as a
in
marketing
going.
major, which is why I always going to hate commercials, is that whatever they pay for marketing dollars, first of all, there's a think tank. There's a room full of motherfuckers that said this is the color, this is the tone, this is the
40
tempo
hours a week.
to catch the most people you can catch with it.
I've done
And
surveys.
then
I've
they
done
They
all
can
them.
show you
I've
a
been
commercial
focus
so
groups and all
much
that.
that you don't drink soda, but when you get thirsty, you'll think Pepsi.
Yeah.
They can show you that many just billboards, commercials, ads, audios that you'll think of Pepsi when you're thirsty and don't drink soda.
Right.
And it's not a reach. This is a real thing.
Somebody
Right.
out here getting paid $120,000 just to make sure of it.
Just to make sure the pitch is right. The tone is right. Like
it's a
there's
whole team
multiple
of 'em.
people. Yeah. Everybody got a job.
Mm-hmm.
But it's based on a lot of research. It's based on the data that these social media people is giving these companies nowadays. But
And it's funny because the app on your phone talk about the social media. It asks you right there. Say, listen, you cool with us using
cool
all
with us
your
giving away your
Exactly.
shit. And you don't even read it because you like, everybody
hype.
on here. I gotta be
Right.
on here. They all
That's
signed
right.
it. Why wouldn't I sign it?
They just
That's
like,
how you. That's literally why you
Yo.
push accept, because you be like,
Yo.
everybody else signed it. It must be cool.
Yo,
don't even get it.
cuz it say right.
And they selling it for billions.
Once in a while, all you gotta do is look at one of them. Just go through the list on one of them Jones, yo.
You know, it's funny. That brings up a good point. I'm just thinking about it.
I want to bring up a
Your
point to you too.
information is worth so much more than you think it is. How much more do you think it is to these companies and these corporations? Your life. Like, we and a lot of people in our community, because we've been treated as such, run around like we worthless. But there was a time where if you work for Walmart, they took out a life insurance policy on you.
Mm.
And you know
Wow.
what they got for your life? Way more than you valued it at.
Absolutely.
Just because you worked for them.
Mm.
And because they know at their rate, at their pay rate, the neighborhoods that these people are coming from that they hire, and the likelihood of them cashing out on these policies
It's higher
is
than that.
quick as hell.
Right.
Fuck likely than not. Everybody gonna die. It's the
No, I'm talking about
turnover
when.
is like
That's what I'm saying.
immediate.
That's what I'm saying. The likelihood of them cashing out on it is higher than that.
It's
Listen.
immediate.
They got a video when you work there. Everybody got to sit
I
there
seen
and
it.
watch to make sure that you die.
Bro, I worked at Home Depot. That video, scary as shit.
Yo, I used to work for UPS. Are you kidding me?
I seen all of
So
them.
we seen similar videos. Death
kidding
trap.
me?
Like, no, you work in the death trap. Please always be aware that you work in the death trap. But
Stay
then you
calm.
think about being a customer in this bitch. Like, they don't know none of this shit. Like, real rap. Like, they tell you stories of pallets falling
I
off
know.
his top shelves and accordion in the motherfucker.
And they-
But you walk through it like it's a grocery store. Because they set it up in your head to just, you don't even think about
short
it.
People don't even look up to see that that
You
shit is right
forget
above their
you're
head.
in a warehouse.
They don't even realize this shit is
You
above their
forget
head.
you in a warehouse, and it
That's-
only takes
that's
one
exactly
person that
it.
was rushing
That's exactly
to
it.
have something that wasn't evenly balanced
That's
to fuck up the
exactly it.
whole thing. That's another life lesson.
That's exactly it.
It's another life
That's
lesson.
exactly it. We should have what you call it, hard hats in there.
If you work in it,
Yo, you
the
know,
likelihood of something happening to you in there, why wouldn't you?
yo, that's funny. That
For the
you
amount of
said-
hours you got to be there, if you work there, you there for probably 10 to 12 hours more than
Yo.
you there for 8
When you said
if you full time.
it's like you don't even know that you in the warehouse. It's like you totally forget that the danger that you in, the risk that you taking.
And it's set up that way.
Yo, to add on to that, guess what they put in there?
What?
Basketball hoops.
Bro, and I'm sure it's probably 8 other examples we can make. But like, you literally think you at somewhere regular. You like, this ain't Walmart even. This is Home Depot and Lowe's.
Hooping, balling on break
different.
tournaments, betting.
It's different, yo.
It's the king of hooks, baby. Sam Malone, what up? Corey. Yeah, baby. They ain't ready. Don't get what you're looking for.
Yeah.
They ain't ready. In the streets we can't cry no more. Corey.
Slick as I want to be, smoothest ever seen. Melody could be felony, what you telling me? Learn to play from Bill Bellamy, Peter Guns, someone else. I'm something else, something different. That's what she sniffing. Caught Malone shit, different from pimping. Scene was basic till I slipped in. Trapping, loading, clipping, saying on niggas bitches. I call niggas bitches. Like bitch, handle business first, boy, yank like incense. Twist 3, dismiss, that's Malone's mistress. Music business, I'm trafficking. What was mastered in, led through a path to sin. Walls crashing in, cashing in. Couldn't figure out what was happening, but trapped again. Backfire from trapping in. Ironic as hell, my pocket's loud in the cell while waiting on Tiny to post bell. Oh hell.
What you looking for? They ain't ready. In the streets we can't cry no more. They ain't ready. Fight right through the pain. They ain't ready to see me walk through the gate.
Can't fight tears, I can't find fears that ain't mine. Can't see big blind, spend time showering shit time. Outside I'm on hills, all 10 grounded. Like tunnels with backwoods, sparkwoods countless. Nights pitch black, go legit, switch back, loud pack, 6-pack, V8 hardly switch that. Ready to flip mattress, couches, and bounce. Something about grinding it out, I'm so bout it. Ready to get what I came for. Same ball, plenty corners bent in my stint, I became more. When it became war, I gave him Armageddon. Born legend, Sammie the veteran, I would bet on him. Follow his lead, take heed, use caution, never the one flossing. Respect due bosses, respect who the Ross from up top. Stand alone with Corey, with me, women, I stop.